Welcome, everyone, to Everyday Ethics, where we take ethical reasoning and apply it to the situations of our everyday lives. I am Michael Liebowitz. We have with us, once again, my lovely co host, the wonderful Persephone. Persephone, hello.
Hello.
And hello to the audience as well.
Hello, audience.
So, today we're going to discuss the differences between ethics, norms, and manners, which I am equipped to do because I actually read all the material. Whereas Persephone, it seemed, shirked her responsibilities and did not do so. Would that be accurate, Persephone?
Um, Potentially. We'll see.
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. So, are we going to talk about the super chat goals, or are we just going to see what happens?
We're just going to see what happens today.
All right.
And then there's
Well,
something I need to discuss with you after this.
okay. If it's your overwhelming crush on me, there's unfortunately nothing I can do about it. You're married, I have a girlfriend, and you live in South Africa. So here's a clear way to distinguish. This is from AI. So what I did was I got something from Google AI, ChatGPT, and I also got an article that we are to rely on here on this Martin Luther King Jr. Day, by the way. So, ethics are principles about right and wrong, standards for how people ought to act, especially when actions affect others' rights, well being, or justice. I disagree with that, the latter part of that, but we won't delve into that too much. Ethics are principles of right and wrong. We will focus on norms are shared social expectations about behavior within a group, culture, or society, and manners are rules of politeness, not necessarily affecting the morality of actions or saying anything about them. So we have what's expected in society. So some societies, we got a super chat already from Daniel. Daniel, let me know too. Are we going for coffee tomorrow, or are we just incorporating the coffee into the dinner that we're having with one Philip Pilati? Okay, so back to ethics. Ethics are general principles that are about conduct. Norms are they vary from culture to culture. So I might be in South Africa and I don't know what the rules are there, what the expectations are. For instance, about handshaking, social distance. What's comfortable personal space. In America, I think it's about 3 feet. Might be different over there. Handshaking, bowing, hugging, kissing. There's all types of different norms and expectations in different cultures about arguing. I mean, customs about arguing, that sort of thing. Manners are about politeness. You say please, you say thank you, excuse me, that sort of thing. You might open the door for a lady or for an elderly couple. That type of thing would be consistent with manners. Not burping at the table, also with manners. So there are differences, but I personally think that there's certain overlaps. And what I mean by that is this. If it's the social norm that I shake hands, for instance, and I want to act in my own rational self-interest, then shaking hands would be a smart thing. Having a clear, firm grip in my culture is in my interest to do. And also knowing that these are taken as signs of respect, I can read somebody else by the manner in which they shake hands, unless they give me an explicit reason not to. I'm going to assume they're aware of the social custom. Similarly, it's in my interest to be polite, to show respect, because these are accepted means of demonstrating respect for other people. So there has to be some in society, right? There has to be some ways in which we communicate respect, politeness. So it's obviously in my interest to do so. Therefore, I do it. So, Persephone, what are your thoughts? And why is Daniel the only one in our chat? That is disconcerting to me, I must
That
say.
is that is very strange. Um m- my thoughts are that manners and ethics and norms, they do overlap sometimes, but there's also a lot of times when they are very contradictory. Um that was my thought. Uh, and then you were talking about sort of norms. In South Africa, it's normal, it's expected for children, if you go over to a friend's house and you're speaking to someone that's older than you, to call them auntie or uncle. You'll never ever call someone's parents by their name. You'll always say like Uncle Jack, Auntie Teresa, and that's like sort of the societal norm. That's what's expected of you, but also some people find it. Yeah, you've made Daniel feel like he's not enough.
We're not. He's not. Well, but that's okay.
So a lot of people find that very. A lot of people don't like that, even though it is the norm.
They don't like it in South Africa.
Yes, a lot of younger people don't want to do that because they find it weird. And there's my dog.
Oh, well, see, yeah. So because norms evolve, right? They change. They evolve. Like I said. Now I forgot what the hell I was just going to say. Oh, like something that I stopped doing a long time ago, for instance, is saying "God bless you" or "bless you" when somebody sneezes. Although it is a social norm, although it's a sign of politeness, um, I also know that it's evolved from being a superstition. I don't believe in God. I just think it's silly, so I don't do it. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I just stopped doing it, and I now don't feel obliged to. But I certainly am open and think there are arguments for why I should be saying "bless you" when somebody sneezes. Do you say "bless"? Don't be focused on the dog, Persephone.
I'm
Do
sorry,
you
I don't know
say
what.
it's
Yes, I do.
okay?
I do say
You
bless
got
you.
another one now. These dogs are running the inmates are running the asylum at this point. What do you think about the bless yous of the world?
I do say bless you because I always have, and it is just a norm. Don't I don't care that it evolved from a superstition, and I don't care that it has roots in um religion. It's just a thing. Megan Ribbon says Gesundheit. That's what my friend says to me. She doesn't say bless you, she says Gesundheit. Um
I feel like
but
the audience is turning on me. They're all saying "bless you, bless you, bless you, bless you." Another norm and also considered politeness that I think is silly, and I mean I'll do it if somebody wants me to. It's their house, but the idea that, and I don't wear a hat anyway, but that you have to take a hat off in the home.
oh
That's something
yeah.
else. Like that has nothing to do with morality. That's just some custom that came about. I don't know if you have it over there in the land of the weirdo, but over here in America, where everybody, we're normal and correct,
And
uh,
don't read emails.
and don't read emails. Yes. Um, Gesundheit means health, according to Megan Ribbons. I wonder if that's accurate. I was always taught that it meant bless you.
Let's Google it.
Persephone's going to find out right now. Megan does have a PhD, so it is
Yeah,
likely that she knows more than us. But well, we'll see. What's the
used
story?
used to wish good health to a person who sneezed is a German word meaning health.
All right, see that I was wrong all my life. I knew it
And
was German.
and the friend who says it to me is herself German, so that tracks.
And how do you say thank you in German? I forget.
Danke.
Danke, Megan. I don't think Megan's German. But either way, we could see that there's some that there are situations where ethics and norms overlap, uh, but we can differentiate them because they are not the same thing. Neither are manners, but I do think manners and norms are good things because they act as social lubricants that
Yes.
allow us to function, and we do need them. Regardless of which ones they are, we do need to know what's expected of us when we go someplace. For instance, you go to a movie theater, and it's you're not supposed to talk during the movie, and you're not supposed to talk in a library. And I think those are good, and I think it's good that we know them.
That is very true. I think manners and social norms are important, but I also do think that a lot of the time they do clash with what is morally or ethically correct, because sometimes you are expected to do something because it's the norm or it's nice, um and it clashes with your ethics.
I love Seinfeld. So Megan says my fiance is German. I don't speak the language except to make him laugh. Well, okay, so Megan had an inside source for what these words mean. Now Daniel's showing off with his knowledge of Arabic because his wife is Arabic. We can all if Jim Valiant gets involved, I'm sure he can introduce some Latin. That's swell. But I gotta say, so when Megan said fiance, have you ever seen the episode? I love this. Mr. Deagle always comes with good questions. By the way, audience, please come with questions. It helps to act as the show. It helps facilitate the discussion. We very much appreciate them. And Seinfeld, do you remember where there was this one woman who just kept saying, do you watch Seinfeld, Persephone? I forget. Oh my Lord. Okay. Well, you got to start. Jim Valiant will appreciate this. There's this lady that every time she talks, it's my fiance. Have you seen my fiance? My poor fiance. And then she says, my fiance is missing the poor baby. And Elaine says, maybe the dingo ate your baby. Very funny episode. We are going to do an episode of this too, by the way, about, the final episode of Seinfeld. Jim suggested it to me. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. Jim is laughing his ass off as he's demonstrating in the emojis. So Mr. Deagle 2556 says, what do you think about dress norms? Today's dress code is much more relaxed than 100 years ago. Is this a good thing or does it really matter? I don't know. Let me put it that way. I was raised in a society where wearing a suit and tie makes somebody look professional, right? So when I see somebody in a suit and tie, that's what I think. But there's obviously nothing intrinsically professional about a suit and tie. It's just an evolved norm. I personally, although I like the way that I look in such clothing, I really do. I don't feel comfortable in it. I don't like it. How do I put this without so here's the thing. I can hold pretty good conversations about a variety of topics. The effort that I've put into developing my vocabulary, my rational faculty, and my character should become evident to somebody with whom I'm speaking, so that I'm not in need of the suit and tie to demonstrate it. Doesn't mean it's not a good thing. It doesn't mean that sometimes it's the first impression that people get. So I think it's a matter of choice, as if as Jim says, adorning oneself expresses self-esteem, but it's optional. It could express self-esteem, but it also could express social metaphysics. It could express insecurity and a desire to put on airs for people to make oneself look like something they are not. So it could go either way. And I think it's a judgment call ultimately. That's my thinking of it. No Name says, is it cheating if someone is in a relationship and thinks about someone else? No, that's absurd. If somebody tells me because they're in a relationship, they never find somebody else attractive or think sexually about another human being other than their spouse, I think they're lying, first of all. Or something may not be right upstairs. Right. That's my thoughts on that, because it's very, very human to find people attractive. The reason that making a commitment to somebody else can be seen as honorable or virtuous is because you're forsaking all others. If that's the nature of your relationship. If it was an easy thing to do, then it wouldn't be respectable. We wouldn't consider it honorable. It would just be, oh, okay, now I find this person attractive, and therefore I've, or I made this commitment. Therefore, it's, all thoughts of other people are eliminated. No Name says she doesn't mean sexually. Well, then I don't know what she means.
It so there is a thing called, having an emotional affair.
Yes.
So even though you're not sleeping with another person, you have, you know, you you're cheating on them emotionally. The other person becomes your confidant, and etc. etc. So I guess, like, depending on, as James says, if you're thinking or obsessing, maybe it could veer into that territory, I guess.
It
Um,
depends on what you mean by obsessing ultimately, because if it's like an OCD thing, something that's outside of the person's control, ethics only refers to what's in your volitional control, what you choose to do. If thoughts are coming into my head that I am not responsible for and they keep obsessing, it has no ethical bearing on me. It's what I choose to do with those thoughts that matters.
See, when I hear
Obsess about me, what?
yes, when I obsess about you. No, when I hear obsess, I don't automatically jump to sort of obsessive compulsive,
Okay.
that kind of thing. Generally, when I hear obsessing, I think, obsessing, thinking about them in the not OCD way. But I also have a follow-up question for Mr. Deagle about his dress code thing.
So
And
you're
that
just going to
is,
switch. You're going to jump before the
I'm
topic's
just gonna,
exhausted. You're going to
you
switch
didn't,
back.
you
That's
didn't
like
give
some South African thing. It's very in America. That's not in America. The polite thing to do is allow me to control everything. But go ahead and switch back to Mr. Deagle.
So my follow-up question is, what do you think about dress norms? When I hear this question, a lot of the time, what people are asking is, what do you think about the move away from modesty? And I would like to know if that is what Mr. Deagle is asking. Because yes, the suit thing like that is true, but I do hear this a lot about, it was better 100 years ago because people were more modest. So I'm curious if that's what they're talking about.
um, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of immodesty in clothing myself. But the problem is, it's when it's in the culture, right? That certain things, certain ways of dressing communicate things. And people are brought up and they understand that. Then when they do it, I think it's normally safe to assume that that's what they're expressing. So, especially like I go to the mall sometimes and you see like 15-year-old girls, and the way
Mm,
they're dressed is insane.
mm.
I saw the same thing at Six Flags. And I just think that for a 15-year-old who's got to still be living in her parents' house, to be dressing like that is not a good thing. What she is communicating, what she is conveying, these are not good things. Now, of course, it could be as an adult now that I'm just the out of touch adult that doesn't understand what's happening now. Like, I mean, this um okay, well, Jim wants to see us all nude, I guess. But that's neither here nor there. It's like with music. This music is terrible. This stuff you're listening to, but and also in my day, we never did this, that kind of thing. But I do think that there's something to it. I think that when you have young girls, and I hate to say young girls because I understand the sexism implied, but nevertheless, it still does communicate something.
I
So
as a woman, I do agree. I don't think that 15-year-old, like, younger girls should be dressing that way. And I don't know how much of that is was informed by my upbringing. My father was a Mormon, and the Mormon church is extremely modest. Um, so I don't know how much of that it was informed by my upbringing, but I also don't think that it's appropriate for younger girls to be dressing that way. I think that it shows a lack of self-respect or a need for validation. Maybe not a lack of self-respect, maybe a desire for validation.
Well, see, that's part of the equation too, is the motivation for doing it. I mean, ultimately what you're conveying, intentionally or not, is a sexual sort of thing,
Hmm.
right? It's like, you ever see or hear about a woman and she has a very low cut top and large breasts and then says, "Hey, eyes up here," right? It's, come on, like, you're being ridiculous. I don't know if I'm breaking news here, but generally men like breasts.
Really?
So if
Never
you're
have guessed.
flaunting your breasts, they're just out there for people. The men are going to look. And similarly, if you're a young girl, teenage boys, especially with their hormones running, are going to be looking if you are dressed in, with a top up to here, low cut shorts, that are also very short. You're going to have young boys looking and going to be assuming things about you. I have to think that you're aware of this. Therefore, I have to think it's intentional,
Yeah,
right? Doesn't mean it is all the time. I'm just saying, as a general rule, it's intentional. You are trying to attract attention, sexual attention from other, from your teenage boys. And then the question becomes, why?
why?
Right? Is it because you just want to look nice? Is it because you want them to lust over you? You want their attention? And why that? Is there a self-esteem deficit? So there's a lot of things that need to be thought through that we can't know with absolute certainty, but I think that there's a reasonable assumption.
Yeah. Um, that's also a bit of a societal norm for younger girls in that subset of, high school. There is an expectation that you dress like that. And my friend has a 16-year-old daughter, and she if she doesn't dress that way, she gets like made fun of. And that's not great for, a young girl. So there is.
No, go ahead. I want you to finish the thought. I
Yeah,
just want this is
I was just reading the comment and I have thoughts about that as well. So there is a societal expectation granted within that sort of subset of society, the teenagers, for younger girls to dress like that. Um and I think that's wrong as well. And I've seen some of the stuff that this girl posts on Instagram, and it
no
makes
name.
no, no, not this person, the
Oh,
daughter. I've seen some of what she posts on Instagram, and it makes me
cringe.
yeah, it makes me worried. It makes me very worried.
So in this, I think boys should be able to control themselves. It depends what you mean by control. I don't know exactly what you mean. If you mean they shouldn't be looking, then I think Mr. Deagle is right. If you don't want people to look, then what are you wearing it for? Um, uh, you know, you dress a certain way for a reason, right? And as we're discussing, the likely reason of a teenage girl dressing that way is for the boys to be looking, right? So then you say, well, they should control themselves. Well, if you're talking about running and grabbing them, or even worse, then of course they should. If you're saying that teenage boys shouldn't be looking, I mean, regardless of what you think should be occurring, the fact of the matter is that the teenage brain is undeveloped.
Mm.
Specifically, the prefrontal cortex text is undeveloped, and the moral decision making is undeveloped. You combine that with raging hormones, and the idea that they're not going to look it's just preposterous. And again, if what is the reason for dressing this way? Now we may say, well, it's a double standard. Men, young boys wear tank tops. They do. That's true. I don't know if they still do. I don't even know what the hell I'm talking about. I know I used to, but and young boys can run around with their shirts off. I get it, and I'm not here to defend that. I'm simply saying, in regard to the question of modesty, that that first of all, men and women, boys and girls are different. And there is a context. I mean, if you're at the beach and you're wearing a bathing suit, that's one thing. If you're at the mall, there's this new look that I've seen where they wear these shorts that are unbuttoned at the top button, and the shorts are very short. You're a 15, 16-year-old girl wearing that. You're doing it for a reason, and the fact that your parents are allowing it, I think, is a little off.
Yeah.
That's it. Yep. Nothing to add. What do I have you for? If you're not going to add,
what do I have you for? Rude. No, it's true. I don't know what to add to that. I don't think that it's right for kids to dress like that, but
well, Mr. Deagle makes a good point. Men's chest is not explicitly sexual, while women's are. I don't know though if that's cultural or what.
That is cultural, because as someone who lives in Africa, how many African tribes have
Yes.
women walking around with their tits out? I'm sorry, like
Tits
boobs
out?
Tits out. Yeah.
Tits out. All right.
Tits
No
out.
bra, nothing, just sagging boobs everywhere.
Have you not seen it? Yeah, the
I have,
women
yes.
walk.
No, I've seen. I'm aware. I've read
So-
National Geographic and I've heard things.
So, I mean, that's a cultural thing. Boobs were not made to sexually attract men. They were made to feed babies.
What do you mean they were made?
That's
Who
why we
made the
have them.
boobs? Nobody
Our
made boobs.
bodies made the boobs.
No, the boobs evolved, and they may have evolved for a given purpose, but it's still a situation where it's come about that they're sexually attractive. Self-control, no name, of course, self-control. But then I could flip that and say the girls should control themselves given what they wear.
Yeah, that's also true.
So there's that.
Mr. Deagle, women have to wear pants too.
Yep. So Cosmic Wolf says she likes men's hairy chests. It's not a male thing. I do not like women hairy chests. I'll put that out there. I may be out on a limb, but I will say that I do not like women with extreme hairy chests. Do you, Persephone?
No, I do not.
Okay. Yes, men have to wear pants.
Men do have to wear pants. It sucks that James is a boob man. It's good to know. Yeah.
Why? Why is it good to know that Jim's a boob man? How does that help you in any way?
It doesn't help me in any way.
But then why would you say that?
It's just a thing that people say.
What do you mean they say? Who says that?
Okay,
unless it's true.
Maybe that's just a thing that we say in South Africa. I can't help that South Africa is weird.
It's good to know. You just say that for no reason. If it's really not good to know.
If someone says something, they're like, "It's hot today," and you go, "That's good to know." It's a thing that we say here.
What about the baboons? Are the baboons revealing in the way that they dress?
Yes. Have you ever seen a baboon?
I have. It's very it's very disturbing. No, it's disturbing. The ass of a baboon is very disturbing. That much I will say. It really is. All right. So we're about to head out now. I hope that you found this conversation fun and edifying. That's sort of my what's the word I'm looking for here? My personality, my goal is to both have fun and to teach and to learn and grow. That is my desire. Persephone, what do you have to say to the beautiful audience before we head on out?
I have a question. What would be great for this show is if there were more questions that you guys had about ethical situations or ethical struggles in your own life. And I know
Yes.
that the YouTube chat feature can be a bit limiting. Would it be easier for the audience if we had a page on the Capitalist Corner website where you could submit a longer question, maybe anonymously?
How much effort does it take to put this there?
Practically none.
Okay, let's do it.
So would that be helpful for you guys? Would it encourage you to ask more questions, to submit more ethical dilemmas that you may be having?
Jim is saying yes.
Thank you, Jim.
Once
But
Jim says it, that's it.
Once Jim says it, it's law.
Yes. All right. Is that settled? Are we going to do it?
Yeah, so we'll do that. We'll have a page on the Capitalist Corner website for you guys to submit anything that you would like to discuss, any ethical dilemmas.
And the Capitalist Corner website is thecapitalistcorner.org.
And yes, and
we don't need the www. What the hell do they put that for if it does nobody uses it? It makes me so pissed.
Some websites do still require the www. Not all of them, but some still do.
Right.
It's just the way that some websites are set up. So we will have that page set up tomorrow, and Michael will share the link to it, and then everybody can submit their questions and their ethical dilemmas, and
we'll answer the questions.
Yes.
All right, everybody, you've gotten an extra minute and 23 seconds now. I hope you appreciate it. We will see you here tomorrow. Remember, until then, to please be ethical and go buy the Be Ethical shirt at patreon.com/the Capitalist Corner.
Other one, capitalistcorner.org. The merch is on the website, not on the
All
Patreon.
right, sorry. Go to the website. I apologize. I'm wrong, as usual. Be ethical, everyone.